yourself to settle comfortably, letting your body rest fully supported. Because today's work is not about fixing anything, improving anything, or proving anything. It is about releasing an invisible weight that many people carry silently. The fear of being judged, evaluated, or seen as inadequate while needing care. Dental fear is often layered with embarrassment, not because there is anything embarrassing about fear or teeth or needing reassurance, but because the mind mistakenly equates vulnerability with failure. Today, that equation begins to dissolve. Let your eyes close or soften and take a slow, natural breath in and an unforced breath out, noticing how your body already knows how to settle when it is no longer trying to perform. You do not need to present yourself well here. You do not need to be composed, brave, calm, or polite. You only need to be present. As your breathing steadies, notice the subtle sense of relief that comes when there is no audience inside your mind, no internal observer grading your responses. Many people carry an imagined watcher, a mental presence that critiques reactions, sensations, or needs. And this watcher often becomes louder in environments like dental offices, where vulnerability feels exposed. Today's session gently turns down the volume of that watcher. Bring awareness to your chest and shoulders, noticing how performance pressure often lives there as tightness or effort, and allow that effort to soften, as if you are allowed to rest from being evaluated. This alone sends a powerful message to your nervous system. You are not on stage. You are not being tested. You are receiving care. Receiving care does not require justification. As you continue breathing calmly, reflect gently on the idea that shame is not an emotion you are born with. It is learned through moments where sensitivity was misunderstood or dismissed. Your fear learned to hide itself, to apologize for existing. Today, fear is allowed to exist without apology. Imagine placing compassion around any part of you that worries about being judged for anxiety, for asking questions, for needing pauses, or for the condition of your teeth. These worries are not signs of weakness, they are signs of humanity. Every person who sits in a dental chair brings a body that feels, reacts, and protects itself. There is no hierarchy of worth based on calmness. Now imagine the dental environment not as a place of scrutiny, but as a neutral space where professionals focus on procedures, not on judging your character. Notice how the mind often exaggerates attention, assuming it is being watched closely, when in reality, most people are focused on tasks, not judgments. This realization does not require you to convince yourself. It simply allows a competing perspective to exist alongside old assumptions. As you breathe, allow the image of being seen without evaluation to form. Imagine sitting or lying comfortably, being treated with the same neutral professionalism given to everyone, regardless of fear level. Notice how freeing it feels to drop the idea that you must manage impressions. You are not responsible for appearing calm. You are not responsible for making others comfortable. You are responsible only for staying connected to yourself. Let that responsibility feel manageable. As you rest, understand that embarrassment often arises from the belief that fear makes makes you less deserving of care. Hypnosis gently corrects this belief by embedding a deeper truth. Need does not diminish worth. Needing reassurance does not make you difficult. Expressing discomfort does not make you weak. These beliefs soften the internal pressure that keeps anxiety alive. Now bring attention to the inner critic, that voice that says you should be better by now, quieter, more cooperative. And imagine that voice losing authority, becoming less convincing, not through argument, but through irrelevance. You are no longer living by its standards. Self-compassion replaces self-surveillance. As this shift occurs, notice how your breathing deepens naturally, not because you force it, but because performance anxiety fades. The body relaxes when it is no longer trying to meet imaginary expectations. Now imagine a future dental visit where you allow yourself to communicate needs calmly, asking for breaks, clarification, or reassurance without shame. Notice how this feels empowering rather than embarrassing. Authentic communication creates safety. Suppression creates tension. Your nervous system prefers honesty over composure. As you continue, imagine letting go of comparison, the idea that others are braver, calmer, or more capable. Comparison is another form of judgment that serves no protective function. Each body has its own history. Each response makes sense in context. When the mind accepts this, self-consciousness loosens its grip. Allow yourself to feel the relief of not carrying a false image. There is no image to maintain. You are simply a person receiving care. As this understanding integrates, notice how imagined scrutiny fades into the background. The spotlight effect diminishes. The world becomes less about how you are perceived and more about how you are supported. This shift is profound because fear thrives when attention is split between sensation and self-evaluation. When self-evaluation disappears, sensations lose intensity. The mind and body work together rather than against each other. Now imagine walking into a dental space with this new internal stance. Neutral, grounded, unconcerned with appearance. And observe how this stance changes your emotional experience. There is less tension in the face. The jaw stays looser. The breath remains accessible. Even moments of discomfort do not trigger embarrassment because discomfort is no longer interpreted as failure. It is just information. This reframing removes the emotional sting that often amplifies fear. As you continue breathing, allow gratitude for yourself to emerge, not for being brave, but for being honest. Honesty with yourself builds trust. Trust reduces fear. This sequence unfolds naturally when pressure is removed. Now imagine leaving a dental appointment feeling intact, not because nothing was felt, but because nothing needed to be hidden. This outcome teaches the subconscious that authenticity leads to safety. Over time, this learning reduces anticipatory anxiety. The mind stops rehearsing how to appear acceptable. It rests. As this session deepens, feel self-compassion spreading through your body like warmth, particularly in areas associated with shame or tension. Self-compassion is not indulgence, it is regulation. The nervous system settles when it feels accepted from within. As you prepare to return attention outward, Carry with you the knowing that you do not have to perform, impress, endure silently, or be perfect to deserve care. Needing support does not diminish your value. Expressing fear does not make you less. The more this truth integrates, the safer dental environments become emotionally. And when emotional safety increases, physical sensations become more manageable. This is how confidence grows, not through toughness, but through kindness. When you open your eyes or shift your awareness back to the room, notice how much lighter it feels to drop self-judgment, and trust that this internal shift will continue to unfold, making future dental experiences